The fourth addition to the Google Home family and Google's answer to the Amazon Echo Show has arrived, and it's called Google Home Hub. It's the most uniquely capable Google Home yet, and it's probably a no-brainer for one or two rooms in your home. If you're already familiar with Google Home, then you already know the bulk of what the Google Home Hub is all about. At its core, it's a Google Home, even to the point that Google decided to go with the typical cast platform-based Google Home OS over Android things, the OS that its partners use for their smart displays. You won't be surprised to know that every single core feature and functionality of the Home, Home Mini, and Home Max are all at your disposal with the Hub. Perhaps the most important aspect to any Google Home, you can of course request music playback through your favorite streaming services, or even ask to listen to a podcast if that's more your thing. Or you can do those other core tasks you find yourself using your home for the other 50% of the time, like setting quick timers, asking about the latest news in the morning, or casting a show to a Chromecast-enabled TV. You get it. Everything you can do with any Google Home, you can do here. And it does them all well, I think. Every previous Google Home were speakers first and foremost, and the Home Hub is no slacker in that department either. I'd say it's not quite as powerful and doesn't get as loud as the standard Google Home from 2016, but it's definitely way better than a handful of Home Minis. If anything, I was actually impressed by the sound it managed to put out for its size, but still, you'll be happier with the standard Home if audio is your primary concern. The display adds some new functionality, but I'd say it mostly supplements the existing helpfulness of the Home with visual feedback. In the supplements category, you could place having the countdown of your timer on display while you're cooking, or visuals accompanying your queries for the weather for the week. Both of these are much welcome, and there are countless others. Recipes also aren't new to Google Home, but with the Home Hub, you can easily walk through them visually, progressing through the ingredients list and all the necessary steps of the recipe via quick voice commands. No greasy fingers need touch the display. Something that's also a visual supplement, but begins crossing over into new functionality territory, is Smart Home Control. Previous Google Homes have been able to control your Nest thermostat, for example, but now Home Hub shows you an actual thermostat dial on your display, so you're not restricted to just straight voice queries. If I got it wrong, I just touch the display and change it. That brings us to Home View, possibly the most important new feature with the Home Hub, and something that's also now front and center in the Google Home app itself. No matter what you're doing on the device, a swipe down from the top of the display will bring you to an overview screen that lets you control all your smart home devices. You can control lights. In my case, I have Philips Hue connected and can control my office lights with a single tap. I especially found the color picker to be quite sleek. It's just really nice being able to choose between all these preset colors. And you can send a broadcast to all the Google Homes in your home if you want. This option works just like the voice command. And as mentioned, you can control your thermostats, cameras, and locks when Nest isn't suffering its weird bugs or downtime, that is. I found this particularly useful for keeping an eye on the dog in the backyard while working in the kitchen, for example. In addition to all this, the display also just makes it easier to remember exactly what the assistant can help you with. Once you tap to wake up the Home Hub beyond the ambient display, you get a home screen of sorts that shows the weather and lots of cards that just give you suggestions. Maybe it's a single tap for your heavy rotation on Spotify, or just some suggested news stories. Either way, it's nice to have reminders of what the assistant can actually do. I haven't talked much about the actual hardware yet because I think it's probably the least important part of this device. Like the last three Google Homes, the Hub has been designed to blend in as much as the small 7-inch smart display can in your home, and I've been pleasantly surprised with just how well it does this. The petite build and size of the device just makes it irresistibly adorable no matter where you put it too, and the familiar fabric I think really does succeed at its goal of making the device feel homey and friendly and only there when you need it, and not like yet another obnoxious piece of gadgetry to distract you. Speaking of getting in the way, I think the decision to go without a camera, even though it comes at the cost of duo video calling, was probably the right call. It's far easier to feel comfortable with it in a bedroom or bathroom knowing that there's no possible way it could be watching you. I think at $149 US, it's simply a great addition to any room, especially if you're already in the Google Assistant ecosystem. If you don't have a Google Home yet and want to get started with just the most functional and helpful one yet, this one will take your dollar far. But so will Google Home and Google Home Mini, I think. This has been Stephen Hall with 9to5Google. You can head over to 9to5google.com to check out our full review, and be sure to subscribe here on YouTube too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.